Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. We shall start our revision on plants and their systems. We're looking at plant structure and function, so we'll be as direct as possible. Remember, last time in the previous revision, we talked about organization of life. We looked at cells, and we also looked at the cells of plants, and we saw that they are specialized for their functions. Now we want to look at the whole organism, which is called a plant. All right. So that's what we are going to look at in today's revision. All right. So let's kickstart. So to kickstart, I'm sure you've all had some chance to plant something. Write in the comments what you've planted. Perhaps you've planted some flowers, perhaps some crops for selling. Who knows? But the most important thing is to appreciate that you have seen how plants grow. So, how did you make the plant grow? What did you do to it to make it grow? All right. So, today we want to look at plant organs. We want to look at two types or the two main types of plant organ systems of plants, and then we want to compare and contrast the functions of these systems. All right. So we shall kickstart by looking at a plant in general. What are the main parts or the main organs of a plant? At the base here, we have the roots. You can see we have the roots here. These ones are mainly embedded in the ground. So you notice that most plants do not have roots which protrude from the ground. Of course, there are some exceptions of plants which have got roots protruding from the ground, but most roots are buried deep inside the soil or inside the ground. Some aquatic plants have got their roots in the water, but these are exceptions. The land plants actually have their roots in the land or in the soil or in the ground. All right. So this forms the basis, or let's say if we call, perhaps we were to call this the soil. So this forms the base from or onto which the plants are anchored. All right. Next, we look. Remember, last time we also said that these roots have got specialized cells called root hair cells. So we say that these root hair cells are specialized cells which enable the root to carry out its function of ensuring that it absorbs as much water and as much minerals as it can. So we say that the function or the what we call the specialization of these root hair cells was that they have got an extension. That extension is that the cell itself is elongated. Some of its parts are elongated so that it increases the surface area so that the root can be able to perform its function of absorbing water and minerals from the soil. Again, you must be able to remember that these roots, since they are organs, they have been made from tissues. And we say that tissues are a group of cells which are performing a related function. And these tissues are also made up of cells. You can watch our other revision, which we did yesterday, or you can look at one of our videos on organization of life. All right, so let's continue. So we say that the plant has got these roots. Next up, here are the stems. We have these stems. The stem is the main body which is visible for the plant. You can see that the stem runs and connects all the parts of the plant together, right? So this stem is the main visible part, the plant. All right. So it's important to note that the stem has got its functions. The main functions are to be able to connect all these parts, the roots, since the roots are the ones which are absorbing water and minerals from the ground. So therefore, the stem must also be useful in transporting these minerals in this water from the roots up to maybe the plant leaves and fruits and flowers or wherever it's needed, and also maybe sometimes to also bring these some stuff from the leaves back maybe to the roots. All right, so that is in essence the basic function of the stem. Right, let's move on. So the two main systems of the plant are, we have talked about them. We have just highlighted them in the previous slide. So we said that the two main systems are the root. Let me take maybe a red one. The root system and the shoot system. Okay. So these words rhyme, right? Root, shoot. So the roots anchor the plant and bring minerals and water, and the shoot is the one which transports them to the rest of the plant. All right. So now, like we just said, we said the root system is the most important because it forms the anchor. It anchors the plant in the ground, all right? Forms the anchorage. So for the plant to be able to stand upright, it needs roots, all right? Again, we say that the roots are the ones which absorb water and minerals from the ground where they are concentrated so that it can supply the plant. Now, next we talk about the shoot system. This we said it is the visible part, okay? And we also call it aerial because it is reaching the further parts of the plant, okay? So the shoot now grows out of the ground and forms the bulk of the plant, right? So the shoot system has got the major functions of, firstly, to provide structure by holding the plant upright. All right. So this stem is holding this plant upright. So we'll label this one stem. Okay. Again, you can see here that the other function of the shoot system is to transport fluids throughout the whole plant. It transports fluids from the roots going up, and it also transports fluids from the leaves going down. For example, we talked about water and minerals. So just say H2O and minerals. They need to be transported up the plant, whereas maybe sometimes products of photosynthesis like sucrose, okay, sucrose need to be transported, maybe sometimes to be stored in the roots. All right. So the stem now or the shoot system is the one which provides this. Again, you will notice that the shoot system not only has the stem, but it also has the leaves. The leaves, these ones are the leaves. Okay. These leaves. The leaves are the ones which now, because of the fact that they contain chlorophyll, so they contain chlorophyll, which makes them green. So chlorophyll is a pigment which makes plant leaves green or plant parts green in general. So because of this chlorophyll, plant leaves absorb sunlight, okay? And then they make food by the process of photosynthesis. For a detailed video on photosynthesis, check our playlist on revision, as well as our other videos. You can find some notes on photosynthesis. Now, the leaves, like we said, they are the ones which are going to conduct photosynthesis. As soon as they are done, they make products which we generally call carbohydrates. Specifically, they are some of them sucrose, some of it is glucose, some of it is fructose. But in another video, we explain this in more detail. For now, it is important to appreciate that these products are transported back or transported around the plant because they are the ones which are going to be broken down to produce sugars, or at least to produce simple sugars which are going to be used for producing energy. Remember that we said in the presentation on organization of life that plant or all organisms require energy so that they can perform respiration. So this sucrose is the one which is going to be used for respiration. All right, respiration, like this. Right. Again, you notice that where the leaves are connected to the stem, we call these parts nodes. Okay. So the nodes, you've got, these are the parts where the leaves are going to be uh, forming from the stem. You can see also we have got these young leaves which are budding there. We just call this one a young leaf, right? Again, the shoot system, on top of having the stem and the leaves and the nodes, the shoot system also has flowers. Flowers, right? So these pretty ones are the flowers. So the flowers now are the precursors, or the ones which are formed first as the plant is going to make fruit. Okay, plants in general are divided into two main categories. We have the flowering plants, which are called angiosperms. So maybe let me just write it here. Flowering plants. So we have flowering plants, which are called angiosperms, right? So, and then we've got the non-flowering plants, which have got many groups like ferns, like mosses, ferns, mosses, and other types of plants, but we're not going to look at them today. So this flower or plant which we have is a typical flowering plant, and it has got these flowers. The flowers now are the precursors, like I said, which are produced before fruits are formed. So when you see flowers, you know that fruits are going to follow. Perhaps you've seen flowers on tomato plants, on baobab plants. You've seen flowers on different kinds of plants, mango plants, right? You know that as soon as the flowers go, where the flower was, there's going to be a fruit, all right? And the structure of a flower, we are going to look at, you'll find in one of the videos, the structure of a flowering plant as compared to the structure of a non-flowering, flowering plant. Okay, so we're going to look at, you'll see that there's a difference between the structure of flowers which are wind pollinated as well, and structures of flowers which are not wind pollinated. All right. So those are some differences in flowers which we'll talk about in another video. Right. So the shoot system, as you can see, it has all of these. It has the flowers, it has the leaves, it has nodes, and it has the stem. All right. So shoot system has got this one, two, three, and four parts. All right. So these are all parts of the shoot system. All right. Let's move on. So you notice that this shoot system is kind of different from the roots. Whereas the roots grow downward, the shoots grow upward. All right. That is an interesting thing to note. It grows upward. So it is, we say that this type of growth is called a tropism. tropism. So we say that if a plant grows towards the light, we say that it is phototropic. Okay, so plants have got phototropism. All right. So if something grows towards the light, we say that it is positive phototropism because plants grow towards the light or upwards. So we say that since the light is high up in the sky, so we say that, or since the plant follows the light, we say that plants have got what we call positive phototropism. On the other hand, roots, 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 we say roots have negative now phototropism since roots phototropism since roots are going to go growing are going to grow going downwards. So since they're going away from the light, we say that they have negative phototropism. However, since roots do grow um, downwards and gravity pulls downwards, we say that roots have positive geotropism. So if plants grow towards or in the same direction as the force of gravity, we say it is called geotropism. So roots have positive geotropism and negative phototropism. And plants or shoots, on the other hand, they have positive phototropism and negative geotropism. Since they go against tropism, the geotropism is negative. So since they go against this, it means that they've got negative geotropism. All right. So, what is the advantage of plants or plant shoots growing upward? All right. The first and most important advantage is that as they grow upwards, they are going to grow towards the light, which allows them to absorb as much sunlight as it is possible. This allows them now to have to carry out this process of photosynthesis. Okay, so positive phototropism is important because it allows plants to have photosynthesis. Again, it also makes the plants able to absorb as much gas as possible. For example, absorption of oxygen in the air for respiration, absorption of carbon dioxide for photosynthesis. All right. So plants or shoots growing upwards is important because the plants can get the necessary necessary nutrients and necessary requirements for them to be able to carry out their life processes. All right. So let's move on to the root system. Now, the major functions of the root are, like we said before, to absorb water, since water is important for photosynthesis, also for maintaining the plant alive. So the plant must needs absorb water, and it does this by absorbing it from the ground. Remember, the plant is not going to be able to walk in search of water like animals do. So it must have a root network system which allows it to absorb water and minerals. Some of these minerals which are being absorbed include nitrates. These nitrates are going to be used for forming leaves since the nitrates contain nitrogen. Again, the nitrates are also going to be used to form proteins, okay, and other things. And these nitrates, because they contain nitrogen, which is a key ingredient in the formation of chlorophyll, they are going to be important for maintaining the plant leaves green. Should nitrates lack in the soil, you will notice that the leaves start to turn yellow, which is a process which is called chlorosis. We'll talk about this in another video on plant nutrition. Then another function of the roots is that It provides anchorage, okay? It provides anchorage to the plant, thus supporting the plant. So the plant needs support, and this support it gets in the form of anchorage from the roots. So the roots provide this much needed anchorage, and it's very important for the plant, right? That it has these kinds of things, right? Another thing is that the roots also help in storing food. That's very important, right? The roots help in storing food. Okay. So, how do roots store food? For example, the food which is produced by the leaves is stored in the roots. Okay. So, some of these carbohydrates are stored in the roots. You'll notice maybe some roots, like, for example, um, sweet potatoes or general tubers, have got these fleshy roots which are eaten, maybe also as well cassava and yams, right? So the food is stored there. Okay. So again, another thing which is important is to take note that we said roots have got a certain movement which is called geotropism. The geotropism or the movement towards gravity is negative, all right? No, sorry, positive. It is positive. Let's quickly correct that one. They have positive geotropism. Why do they have positive geotropism? It's because they are growing towards gravity. So they have positive geotropism. And then their phototropism now. Phototropism, or their growth towards the light, is negative because they are running away from the light. All right. So the root has got these functions for absorbing water. And we said in another video that the adaptation of the roots is that they've got these specialized root hair cells which help in absorbing water by extension of their um, of their cells to increase the surface area. All right. So, like we said, the roots are going to go down, and the root tip protects the root as it goes down, and it is also important in helping the root to know where it is going. And this root tip is called a meristem. All right, it's called a meristem. It's called a meristem. So just appreciate that it's called a meristem. And these root tips are very, very important in plant growth because they help the plant to be able to uh, absorb nutrients, store nutrients, and store foods, and also for the root to have deeper anchorage. All right, so to conclude our lesson, we are going to just get a brief recap. We say that plant parts are also called plant organs, and these organs they work together, forming organ systems. We say that the organ systems we have the shoot system and the root system. The root system, we said it grows down because of gravity and helps the plant to water and nutrients, and sometimes also to store food. We also said that it provides anchorage for the plant to grow, all right? And then we said that the shoot system, on the other hand, the shoot system provides the overall structure of the plant, and it helps to collect, and it also produces food through the leaves. It transports fluid through the stem, and we say that it also produces fruits by the presence of these flowers. All right. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. This about sums up our discussion on plant stem, on plant structure and function. All right, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.